What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and today we're going to go over a step-by-step strategy and plan that I actually wrote out for myself about 5 years ago on how to become a millionaire. I'm going to preface this by saying this is not some video that's not going to be full of substance, just telling you to just make more money and invest it, and that's not what we do here on this channel. This is going to be an actual step-by-step guide that I'm going to take you through right now, from absolute beginner who has no money, no net worth, doesn't know anything about investing, and give you the exact guidelines that you need to follow to actually become a millionaire. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to this channel because it really does help the algorithm and it helps us grow. And let's just get right into it. So the first thing really is going to be to remove your debt and really focus on cash flow. If this is our income, $50 per month, and our expenses are $50 per month, how much money are we really going to have to invest and become millionaires? The answer is zero. If we can double our income or just remove all of our expenses, then our cash flow each month is going to be net positive. Now, this is something that all of you have obviously heard, that you need to cut down on spending. Obviously, you should cut down on a lot of your spending, but what you really need to focus on is removing bad debt. Things like loans that aren't generating you income, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Credit marks. So if you have bad credit and you haven't paid off a lender, you need to do that as soon as possible. And just dumb bills, right? Go through your finances, write down kind of like a P&L sheet like a business would do, and see what you're spending your money on, right? I use Truebill. You can use them if you want, or you can just look at your finances every single month. So many people don't want to look at their finances, but you have to. Close your eyes. The monsters don't just go away. And when you actually look at your finances and see what you're just swiping your card on, you start to realize there's so much stuff that you don't really use that you can probably just get rid of. And one thing with the whole, getting rid of your debt and focusing on cash flow is to stay happy. I don't want you guys to go out and just stop spending any money at all, spend all your time in the house working on a side hustle, grind, and just throw away your youth. That's not what I'm about. And that's not what I think you guys should be about either. Keep some things that keep you happy. So for me, right, I try to not go out to dinner too much. I try not to spend my money on useless things. However, like a camera or even this paper or anything that'll make me money, I don't mind spending money on. But I don't really spend money frivolously. However, one thing that I really like is to travel. So when I travel, I just spend whatever, right? It might not be the most responsible thing, but traveling is something that I love to do. So when I go out, I want to explore other cultures. I want to soak up, where I am, and I don't care how much money I spend. I'm not going to have a good vacation if I'm looking at my phone the whole time, wondering what kind of money I'm spending. So what I'd say to you is cut back on a lot of the things that you don't need to spend money on, and focus on one or two things that really bring joy to your life. Like maybe you love fashion. Buy yourself some of the clothes that you like. Maybe not the Gucci and the Louis and the Supreme and all that stuff, but if clothing makes you feel really good, maybe keep that. Maybe if you're somebody who actually likes to go out once a week for drinks with your friends, spend the money on that. But what you need to do is pay down the big loans, pay down these credit marks that you have, and get rid of the bills that you really don't need. The second thing is going to be house hacking. So the average American spends most of their money each month on housing, and our goal is to actually remove that bill, because if you can't just go out and make more money, right? You can't just go get a $20 an hour raise, then you're gonna have to lower your expenses at first. And obviously lowering your housing expenses is going to make a dramatic difference in your cash flow every single month. So one of the first things that I actually did was went out and bought a duplex. A duplex is great because it's two separate units, which means I get to live down here and I get to rent out to somebody. And you can do this with, if you don't have enough money to do it yourself, you can do it with friends, which is something that I did. Or if you do have enough money, you can just do it alone. And the thing with the duplex that makes it cool is, say your mortgage is $1,000 per month. Well, you could probably rent this unit out for what, $900, maybe $1,000, and therefore your living expenses to live in that apartment, granted it's not a huge house or anything, but it is somewhere nice to live. You could live there for nearly free or entirely for free. And so this is one of the best ways to actually bring your cash flow up each and every month, and then use that money to start investing. Now, if you don't have enough money to go out and purchase a property, and I've made videos in the past about house hacking, I'm going to make more in the future, so make sure you hit subscribe. What you can actually do is take the house you're living in now and just rent out the rooms. So maybe you are renting a house right now with one or two of your friends and there's a couple extra bedrooms. go ahead and rent those out. I know you might not want to live with some strangers, you might not want to live with some other people, but if you really want to become a millionaire, you're going to have to sacrifice. And this is a sacrifice, in my opinion, that's worth it. Now, of course, don't just go out and rent your property to anybody. Make sure you do a credit check, a criminal history check, because they are going to be living in your house. Another thing you could do is Airbnb. So maybe I live next to the airport, and I want to Airbnb this out, and instead of make $900 to $1,000 a month, I could actually maybe make $100 a night. 22 days a month, that's $2,200. It's a little more active than just putting someone in there and just collecting the rent every month and being a good landlord. But removing your highest expense and house hacking has literally been one of the best things that I have done in my entire life. Not only because it helped me remove my biggest expense, but because it allowed me to live almost for free, which therefore allowed me to take more risks. And moving into the third thing, allowed me to build a skill or a career which I can make more money. So for those of you who have been with me a while, I am normally the stock market guy, and we do have an entire trading channel that I'll put down below called Traders Helping Traders. And we do a lot of stock market videos on this channel as well. I would have never been able to do that. I would have never been able to start my business, take the losses that I took trying to learn how to trade, if I didn't live almost entirely for free. There's no way that if you're making $2,000 a month and your bills are $2,000 a month, that you're going to be able to take the adequate risk that really should be taken to become an entrepreneur or to build a skill. At some point, you're going to have to make more money. Now, I will make a full video on how to actually build a skill and how to make more money within the workforce. But right now, if you're somebody who lives at home, or you live really below your means, or you just got through this house hacking situation, what you're going to want to do is reach out to people that are at the top of their field. So say you want to become a real estate agent. Find the top real estate agent in your area, DM them on LinkedIn, say, hey, my name's Pete DiCarlo, I've been looking to become a real estate agent and I want to work with the best in the business. I was wondering if you have any room in the office for me to come and work for free or just become an intern here. And honestly, if I was one of the biggest agents within my area, of course I would say, yeah, you can work for free, you can shadow with me. If you really want to do this, if you want this to be your career, I'd be glad to help out. And this goes with anything, where if you want to become an artist or you want to become a stock trader, anything, this is one of the easiest ways for you to actually learn a skill or build a career. For me, I went to a lawyer and asked if I could just work for free as a legal assistant, and I worked my way up. I became a paralegal, and then eventually it opened all these other doors for me that never would have happened if I didn't just go and ask someone if I could work for free for them. Now, the last part within this step is this little funnel I drew with this little train that it looks terrible, but whatever. In your financial life, you're going to have this funnel, right? And all of your money is going to funnel to one spot, which is essentially your retirement or just your net worth. You need to realize that your financial wealth is like a train, and you have to feed it coal, right? The more coal that you shovel into this train, the faster the train is going to move. And if a brick wall or anything runs out in front of the train, I don't know why a brick wall would run in front of a train, but you know what I mean. It'll be going so fast and there'll be so much coal in the train that it'll just slam right through it. And so what you need to realize is that even if you start making a ton of money, you should still live below your means. I'm going to do a full video on what my income actually is and what my expenses are, and you would be surprised that I live like a pilgrim. Like my income is probably 20 times what my expenses are. And it's not that I make, $300,000-$400,000 a year. It's just that I really don't need a lot to be happy. And what you're going to want to do is continue to shovel money from all these investments towards your long-term investment portfolio or just towards long-term investments. So if you have any real estate, that money goes towards your investing train. If you have any trading from the stock market, that money goes towards your investing train. Any money from your career, any money, that's left over from after your expenses, put it towards your investment future. Any dividends, any growth stocks, any side hustle money, all this money just gets shoveled to your investing train, and that thing just takes off, because investing truly is like the snowball effect. As the snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, that's when you see sizable moves within your net worth. And you get to look back years later, be like, damn, that all started with that small amount of money. Now, the fourth step is pretty simple, and it's just rinse and repeat, right? Time is on your side. Time, if you are young, is one of the most valuable assets that you have. If you're older, 50, 60, you can still become a millionaire by doing this, but this becomes a lot easier and your room for error is a lot smaller if you're like 40 and below, right? If you're 20 and 30, you've got so much time on your side. But for instance, let's just say you were putting $20,000 a year towards a long-term investment portfolio, and each year you got about a 12% return. In 35 years, just from the 20 grand a year that you're putting in the market, you would have $1,152,685 in just 30 years. Now imagine if you put 40,000 a year, 50,000 a year, 60,000 a year, 70,000 a year. As this train gets bigger, we get to add more and more carts to this train until the train eventually is like a mile long and it's just chugging down the road towards retirement. And that's what's important. Time allows you to actually make the train bigger, because compounding interest truly is one of the most amazing things when it comes to investing. I have fun for hours upon hours just going over like compound interest calculators. MoneyChimp has a really good one. I'll put the link down below. But just going through these compound interest calculators and just seeing how much money I will eventually have in the future. And the last bonus thing is that if you are going to want to have a lot of these liabilities in life, right? Like at some point, if you have millions and millions of dollars, you're going to want to treat yourself, right? You're going to want to have maybe a really nice car. You're going to want to have some nice watches. You're going to want to go on super luxurious vacations. You deserve it. At some point, you deserve it, right? I want a BMW M3. That's one of my goals, but I'm not going to get that until I have $1 million in net worth. And if you're going to have one of these fun liabilities, because I believe truly that if you do work really hard, you deserve to be rewarded, make sure that it comes from one of your passive income sources. So let's say that Pepsi pays you a dividend every single year for like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. Take that dividend, pay for your liabilities. It's going to take you a while to get to the point where your dividends can actually pay for a really nice car every single month. This way you won't have to worry about actually working towards these liabilities. It's going to make buying and having these fun liabilities a blast, right? And I put, again, here, have fun, stay happy. Like, making money if you hate your life is completely pointless. People don't make money to have money. People make money to have freedoms, and people make money to be happy, right? When you're free, when you don't rely on somebody for a paycheck, you have this sense of happiness that just cannot be bought and that most people will probably, sadly, never feel in their life. So take advantage of it, right? If you're in a career that's paying you a ton of money, but you hate what you do, you cry at your desk every day, like, do something else. Do something else. Like, it sucks, but, you know, dude, maybe stay there until you pay off, like, student loans and credit cards and maybe some dumb stuff you did in the past, but at some point you got to get away from that, because the most important thing in life is being happy. It's not money. I would rather be poor every day of my life and be happy and free than to just focus on how much money I'm making and just not be happy. So guys, comment down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you check out our second channel, Traders Helping Traders. That's where anything trader related, I put all of that content on there. As well, if you want to join our private stock market mentorship group, I'll put the link down below. You can get started for $10 your first month. There's over 55 hours of courses and lectures. There's 300 people in our Discord group. I go live with them for 1 hour every single day. Go over what I'm trading, why I'm trading it, which is one of the most important things. And it's a great community to be a part of. So once again, thank you guys. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.